We are back with another beach volleyball review, and today is not any special than the last few days. Just a regular old day. So let's just get into this. It is Tuesday, August 27th. I just did this a few hours ago, and I'm not gonna lie, there's really not anything special about today's session, but as always, I can talk, I can yap. Let's get into this. There's always something to learn from every session. This is not game one, so this isn't the first rally, but man, do I wish it was, because that was a great swing from me. It was a little questionable if I was going to succeed on the swing or not, because it just barely passed by the hands there and even tapped the net. But as you can see, Tim is already moving this way, and I got pretty on top of that ball. So it bounced like 15-foot line. It's not bad. Okay, another, well, not another. I don't know what I'm on right now. I'm just talking. A little behind the back from Tim. Looks a little frustrated. I got the dig and a weak swing, but it's just placed well. Placement over power, people. Ends up paying off. All right. Oh, and this is where I've just become an animal. Honestly, great block, but it looks so lackluster, you know? When a ball like keeps flying up off of the block touch, it's not as satisfying as that hard kill block that just knocks it down to the ground. But you know, blocks are rare for me, so the fact that I even got a touch felt nice. And it continues once again, not the strongest looking block, but a touch nonetheless. Ends up in a point. This time more of a kill block, no cover for Tim. Inside set. Ooh, I love getting the peel digs. And that, really, not much impressive stuff is happening yet. But I used my brain on this one, so another rare case. I see that Samir is peeling back onto this line like, perfectly. And my only goal is to aim for his inside shoulder here, because I know he's peeling straight back. And I feel like this seam shot, because I didn't have a perfect approach and was generally lazy, was the best answer. And a little bit of wrist away action, because I am facing Tim, and that's why he's moving over this way. My shoulders are facing that way. So I have to hit it in the inside of my hand here, or I guess the outside of my hand, in order to hit back to line. It just so happens to land perfectly in between the two. I'll get the divorce papers for them. This marriage will not last. Oh, hit the camera too. Honestly, it looks like I adjusted it to be even better than it was before. Decent pass from me. Block touch. Samir on his knees. And calls for the 50. A little inside, but I think that was good height. Aaron in general wants his sets not like a shoot. He wants it kind of antenna height. So this is a little high for what he likes, and a little inside. If I change the angle up like 5 degrees, I feel like it would have perfectly landed where he wanted it here. But he's able to adapt. Of course, since that ball is inside his shoulder here, he doesn't really have the line option, so you can already see Samir shifting over to the right. But it's still a sharp cut and lands well out of his range. Okay, a little standing float serve for me. Oh, like I said in the last episode, I'm really working on getting low. I do think I'm fairly low here. I could bend my knees just a little bit more to make this work better. But I guess I shifted my weight onto the wrong leg here, and the off speed really threw me off my game. Ooh, good hustle from Aaron there, getting that ball. Great up from Tim too. I can't believe that pass was decent. And a cut shot from me. A little finesse. Just a little bit of wrist action. If you need some wrist action, hit me up. And there I go. You know, somebody was mentioning that my blocks were looking high today. Well, not high enough, because he's able to just poke right over me. And that's the name of the game. The 50-50 ball ends up being just like whoever can jump higher, and it's usually the attacker. There's a 10, a little bit outside the antenna, I would say. I could probably aim my shoulders a little bit more towards the antenna to keep this inside more. But Aaron's able to make a point off of it. As you can see, it's a little bit behind his contact point normally, or his comfortable contact point. But he makes it work with a little bit of pace. I was going to say with a little pace goes a long way, but that's not proper grammar as far as I know. Scramble play here. Easy dig for Aaron, and right away, I push it even further outside of his preferred contact point. So once again, just aiming my shoulders towards that antenna to make sure I can't get it beyond that would be ideal. But as soon as he calls the 10, which is just a fast outside set, which we did on that last one, I should be aiming probably more on the inside than the outside here. And that's something I need to work on. In general, I've always struggled with the 10s and the 50s that Aaron keeps calling for me, but we get better as time goes on. It's harder with distance, and as you can see, I'm pretty frustrated with myself too. It's part of the game though. Oh, that's like a perfect pass, I would say. I think a little bit more height and he could take an option. Aaron, not one to option very often. But I call for the outside 5. As I'm kicking in here, Samir moves into the angle for the hard swing, which just opens up my line shot there. It's a pretty high line shot, so probably could have reacted if he wasn't 1 foot on the ground right now. But overall, I think I did a good job at disguising that high line shot. Feeling myself on the jump floats. A little weak from my perspective. Ooh, I get the touch, so I am able to react a little bit and get there, but I just don't hit it towards my partner. I'm pretty upset with myself on that one, but that's the way it goes. High line's tough shot to dig up. I feel like a lot of passes today were really low because I was bump setting a lot. Great dig. Still at the net. Oh, and I call for the angle block, which works out, but this is what I decide to do. Once again, I'm setting outside. My transition setting was just not there today, and I think I know why. And it might show up in a play real soon. Yeah, this could be it. No, that was just a good serve from me. Oh, yeah. Call for the 50 here. Perfect 50. Self-cover. Call for the 30. Bada bing. Nobody at the net. Open season. I get it done. And that's why I think I wasn't able to transition set today. Because Aaron here took all of the ability from me. Able to do a perfect 50 and 30. Just like that. I didn't call it for either of those this entire time. He's just able to, out of nowhere. Here I am, once again, going for the high line. Just doesn't work out. I will dig high line one day. One day, you mark my words. Good thing I'll play it again for you. Rarely have I lost the ball this badly. Even Aaron pointed to it. You can't see it because it's behind him, but anyways, this is the actual first game. Here's the first rally of the day. It starts with a peel, dig, 360, and I do a great cut shot. Cut shot from the left, not my strong suit, but I guess I was hype or something. Now we're already on the other side, so nothing cool happened the other 6 points. And just a little bit of wrist action. Once again, you know me and my wrist. Come on. Able to get that corner shot. Hitting out of the middle a lot today, so I did a lot more shots than swings, I believe. It really opens up a lot of shot options, but the swing, since I don't really hit down that hard, hitting from the middle is a lot more difficult to hit anything other than these deep corners. And obviously, this right side corner was not open with this block going up. So I go for the short corner because Matt's wearing green pants and those are easy to see out of my peripheral vision. Think. Even the transition to the high five was kind of smooth. Play the Michael Jackson music. Immediately scratching my beard, adjusting the watch. So nonchalant. A smooth little back set. Okay. Oh, lazy from me. As you can see, I'm just not really explosive. Kind of a very limp swing, all from my elbow there. Not able to get the dig, and there I am, also pretty lazy, just going for the one arm self-cover. I don't know what was up. I didn't feel tired. Maybe my body is just naturally tired. I did go rock climbing yesterday. There I go, trying for the swing, but it does work out because I'm able to just swing high and hit hands as JP is going up, but could have been scary if he jumped a little earlier. There's another low pass for a bump set. Able to get a touch, self-cover. 5 for the set. Oh my gosh, this is a rally. And I get it up. You know I get it up still. High line. I can see JP here is in no man's land. I can already see him backing up. It's pretty early. He's not really going that fast. A nice lofty high line over his head works out. Didn't really need to swing that hard to get that done. Oh, dude, I wanted this so bad. Just a little bit too behind me by the time I contact it, so it goes flying out the back. Almost able to get it though. And if you're confused, open hand receives are allowed as long as the ball is hard driven or just like that's your only reaction time. It's a little bit controversial, but I don't know. A lot of people directly go for this. They don't even want to use their platform undigging, which is terrifying for your hands. Fully blocked so you couldn't even see. That wasn't even a 50, that was just a 5, but great awareness from me. Moving the blocker, so now a lot of times when you move the blocker out to the pins, a lot of the area between them and the antenna is open and they're just banking on you being like on the antenna so you can hit that line. And this one, I knew I was getting a bad hand contact on it, so I wasn't going to commit to a full swing. So I just kind of like opened up my wrist just a tad and pointed my finger towards this line here. And it worked out fantastically because it lands right on that line, which even if you are actively running to go get that, you might still think it's out and not even go for it. So that is perfection. Way to toot my own horn. Okay, scrappy volleyball. Spoiler alert, this might be the worst play of the day, but there is more that could be done. There's plenty of volleyball to be played still, so maybe that is not the worst, but it's up there. Just shows how athletic we are. Get the ball dug for another high line shot, but a little bit of a mishit. JP getting too cocky on his pokey dig there. Little tight to the net, Matt unable to react. Let's talk about what bad happened here. So, I guess I'm terrified or something because I'm leaning back on my heels and I sit down, which ultimately makes the pass pretty much on top of my head still. So it goes backwards instead of forward, and you could already see Aaron starting to book it towards me. Fortunately, it was high enough that he was able to come over and react to it, but he's not able to line up his shoulders, so whatever set I get, I'm not allowed to be upset by it because this is my fault. So I just want to keep it in play. I already know he's peeling, but I figured I would hit it towards him because usually the peeler's not ready for a swing. Works out in my favor. Passing today seemed great. Went for the 50, but I just got too excited. Come on, man. Hit that ball perfectly in line with itself. And there's, let's see if I predicted the path. Pretty much. Almost got it perfectly. And that was important. I think it was 20-20 at that point. Ended up losing that one. All right, this is game 3? Yeah. Oh, you know me in this shot. I'm going for the middle again. I'm shooting it over on the right side there. A little bit too much movement from me. I get up and I already start moving to the right, and then the set is inside, so I have to kick back in, but make it work. Lazy in the jumping sense, but not the movement sense, it seems. Nice calm pass there. Goes flying out just a little bit too far, but notice my kick out here. I stayed really patient, so I started moving towards the ball. First step, here's the 4-step sequence. First step on the contact of the setter's set. Second step is a directional step. So this is the one where you point it towards wherever the set decides to go. And the last two are your, I guess, gather steps, penultimate, some people say. I kick out to get to where the ball is so that I can still put some power on it. And I think that as soon as you see the blocker is peeling, you want to work on having some power, especially when you're out of system, because your goal is to get them out of system too. So my best options here would be like a high line, a short shot in front of him to kill his momentum, go for a crazy cut over here, but my least risky option was just to go for a hard angle. And let's see how it plays out. Aaron not ready for that speed, gets the shank. Maybe this music is a little too loud today, I don't know. Sorry if it is. I will review it later. Great seam from Dan there. I think that is also a great option when the peeler digs, or the blocker peels. There we go. Good pass from Ant. Calls for the 2 set. I set him way off. Why did I set him way off? Because I got in front of the ball. I stayed behind it like hips-wise, but I got in front of it court-wise. So the ball was going to land here where my feet are, and I moved just a few feet in front of it there, which makes it so my shoulders aren't aligned. So getting this 2 set is going to be much harder for me, and that's why it is still like 15 feet off the net. Made it tough for Anthony to score. Great serve. Oh, now this may look like a scramble play, but the amount of ideas that cross my mind in this exact 1.5 seconds here, this was planned. I was like, okay, Dan doesn't look ready. Aaron's on this side of the court. I'm going to aim right in between them. Well, right in between them lengthwise, but aim for this side of the court. So here's where I'm aiming for my bump, and it ends up working out. Neither of them know who wants to get that ball or whose ball that is, so it works out. Not a great pass for me, but a great shot. A little context behind this. Dan called for Aaron to switch both of his block calls. Aaron loves line. So as soon as I hear him say, switch both your calls, I know it's going to be an angle block, and that just means that the angle shot is wide open. A little bit of metagaming there for you. Fantastic serve from me. Pat myself on the back for that one. Now, I was concerned. Okay, wait. Let's let this play happen. Ant didn't say anything, so I just sent it over because it felt right. This is another gross play. This is arguably the grosser of the 2 plays, and I might just think that because we lost the point. So some point today, I was thinking that maybe I just wasn't peeling enough. And I think that this is a normal peel for the set here. But the passes just didn't seem to be in easy to reach locations. So this is why we film. We can show ourselves that we're not insane. Another seam ball. I do a good job getting to it. And I wanted to, when I first picked out this clip, I wanted to pause it right here and be like, what do y'all think? Is this going in? It didn't feel like it was going in at all, but it turned out to be the perfect shot. Deep corner, not readable at all. It should have been out. Once again, I feel just the passing just felt on point. But I did hit right into the block and got very lucky because Dan decided not to penetrate. And you know what they say, kids? Always penetrate. Option, okay. Good play from Anthony. Ooh, lazy pass. That's where the pace comes in play. I honestly, it worked out because I just thought so many times, is this in, is this out? Decided not to move my legs and just did a line drive pass to the net, which made it very difficult for Anthony to set. Practically impossible. The back set, peel, angle. Dude, on camera that seems less believable than in the moment. And what do we get here? A high line shot. Dan really good at doing those in transition. Just a little bit too high for Anthony, who we sometimes refer to as the God hand because he gets so many pokey peel digs, but just a little too much. What was the issue with this one? Oh yeah, no issue. It's just, that does not look like it should be up at all. Good old on camera. Good old camera tricks. Oh yeah, right here I was like, jump set, so I didn't even bother jumping. Just wide open court over here for him. He doesn't jump set. And I realized that when I played with him later. He took so many option balls. We're gonna maybe do one more game here. Okay, good swing from me. I would say that in general, Anthony, as soon as he sees somebody passing, he decides to run to their side of the court. I have gotten better at this. I know this has been an issue in previous sessions, that I kind of pass the ball to the opposite corner of the court. Now, I do think there's some benefit to passing the ball a little bit past the middle. That way they have a perfect set for an option swing on the left side. So I really don't think this pass is that crazy. I mean, here's the middle. It goes just a few feet off of it. But Anthony ran all the way to the middle of the court, hoping that I would pass directly in front of me, which makes him have to do this wacky side set here. And I think it comes out clean. Hard to tell. It is pickup, so it's not that big of a deal. And that leaves me with the open net. Swing hard seam. Samir gets a touch, but not good enough today. Line to line serve from Anthony. That swing right there, it doesn't look like much, but that messed my finger up. Left hand, so that's why I went with the right hand there. And right here, I'm like, I really do not want to block. It hurts so much right now. Ends up resulting in a missed play from us. Very impressive play from Samir there. I can't believe that he passed it so nonchalantly while walking. And then, he's not much of a swinger, but in that moment, goddamn, he was a swinger. Great dig from Anthony. Get the panic transition set. Backhand from Samir into another backhand cut shot. Just a little bit out, but I the things I would have done to that man if he got that in. Completely stealing the ball from Anthony there. One thing that I struggle with Anthony specifically is calling. If he's in charge of the seam, he'll say, I call, and then he will not say a dang word. So I always try to call in this situation, but maybe I overstayed my welcome on this one because, I mean, here's the midline, and Anthony may be moved. Let's see how far Anthony moved since the serve. About half of a step to the right. And there I am zooming across the court. Fortunately, I side out. I would have been real embarrassed if I didn't. Staying low, high line. Oh man. I almost have to I feel like I have to cheat, but I think I'm just too slow. I need to read something in the elbow because I'm moving towards the high line, which is great. There's so many high lines that I don't even bother walking towards, but there's still a lot of room for improvement. This is the tall person perk. Anytime you get a soft block on yourself, you can just lean back and swing again. I think that's also something I need to work on. I take a lot of seam balls from this side, but I just need to move my feet a little bit more because my momentum, while I'm drifting and leaning into that leg, it often results in that pass that I mentioned is not good, way too far to this side. But line myself up nicely, open up both the hard angle and line shot, and I decide, let's just go for the line. Weak little wrist flick is just enough to be out of Matt's range and force him to pass with one hand, and it works out. Going for the back set here, I peel back, able to get a one-handed dig, but it's a little, there's that peel I'm talking about. I don't know if you need to run diagonal in this case. Maybe he was trying to, I don't know. It's a reactionary thing, but in general, I think it's better to just move forward and then be able to move into the set or just prepare your legs a little bit. I don't think it's good to predict where the ball's gonna go. Ends up in a double. I catch it. Respect. I'm glad he went for it. Oh man, I'm sorry, Anthony. You told me I shouldn't put that in. You know that means I had to put it in. I won't even describe it. You have to watch it to understand what happened. Passed a little bit backwards. Goes for the deep line shot. A nasty cut from Samir. Nobody's up. And honestly, at this point, I forgot to mention, I felt mentally good this whole time. But there are moments that I struggled, and this is one of them. At this point, I'm already disappointed that, I have to run up and block so much. I'm on the service line here. I'm telling Anthony, go up to the net. I don't care what that pass looks like. This is an easy block. This is a 50-50 ball. He could have just put his hands at, maybe he was a little embarrassed from the last play. Let's be real. But that is an easy block. It does not go more than 3 inches above the net. If you can hit over the net, you could block that. Anyways, in my head right now, I'm already thinking why are you not blocking right now? So I need to remove that negativity from my head, stay in the game, and react to a shot like this. Great shot, but since I was in my head, I wasn't even prepared to go for something like that. Let's just do till the end of this game, and we'll move on. Go for the 50. This is the most athletic I looked all day. I didn't reach the highest, but my arm swing, that looked juicy. And I'm just going to cut it there because I don't think much else happens. This last game, I get to play with Dan for the first time, but we did not perform well. I think we had a 10-14 switch or something, and normally I feel like Dan is the best person out there, but he was probably just in his head a little bit and it didn't work out. We'll play again next time, but yeah, let's see, what can I work on? I mean, I feel like I played well today. I still think my serve needs to be a little bit more aggressive. I think in most cases, I didn't mention this, but in most cases, I just served right to the person, and that ultimately sets us up for failure. But I also need to look into some cues on how to chase down that high line, because I feel like I was just one step late every single time. I'm staying lower more often. It's working out nicely. And yeah, work on the transition setting. Setting in general has gone downhill for me. So today, I got a treat for you. This is a DolgosVB classic. I might have mentioned this in my vlog, but you're in for a treat here. It's just a protein shake, right? But why? Why is there a spoon in here? And why is it like completely drenched? It's because I don't have long spoons. Okay? We got that spoon. And we got cornflakes, baby. Not sponsored. It's what I have. This is what I consider protein milk, right? So how to make a protein shake more exciting? You put a little bit of cereal in there, and now you can eat cereal without the guilt, because you are getting gains with the protein milk here. Today I added a half of a banana too, because I was gonna make a different recipe that I saw on Instagram. It's like fruit yogurt bark of some sort, but that takes 3 to 4 hours to freeze. So you're getting the DolgosVB classic here. Listen to this crunch. Oh, that's good stuff. The banana is exciting. So this is just protein powder, ice. You could do water, but I used almond milk. And then today I added the banana. Dude, normally I would not eat cornflakes with milk, but just because it was too flavorless. But if you use that protein powder, it really shines in the cornflakes. And man, I eat this probably 5 times a week. I love this stuff. But anyways, thank you for joining me. Thank you for your support. Comment your favorite part of the video. Comment anything you want. Say what's up. Just let me know you're here. Keep grinding, and always remember to film yourself.